Should religious Jews revolt against secular governments?
Against governments? Jews should revolt against religion.
Right, because religion is the opiate of the masses.
Yes, correct. Religion is what maintains the masses in a state of delusion, out of touch with reality, like opium.
Got it. Okay, but let's just say as a theoretical exercise, what if the government were the force of manufacturing consent? What if the government were the opiate of the masses and religion were the rehabilitation from the opium addiction?
Что? Не понимаю. I don't understand. Religion is the opiate...
Opiate of the masses. Yes, I got it. But listen, John.
My name is Vladimir.
Right, sorry, of course. I got mixed up there. Never mind. Yes, of course, Vlad. Look, you're a philosopher. Your little treatise, State and Revolution, what a page-turner. I'm asking as a philosophical exercise, what if the Torah embodied the truest system of thought?
Well, I suppose that according to archi-Hegelian historical archi-dialectic, that the Torah is the original system of social concernment, love your neighbor and so on.
Great, perfect. Thanks for playing along, Vlad.
For theoretical purposes.
So, theoretically, let's say the Torah embodies the truth, and Jews who live according to the truths of the Torah find themselves living in a secular state, a state that in some ways contradicts and frustrates the ways of the Torah. What are the options?
Well, clearly, in such an oppressive socio-pedagogical situation, the Torah Jew should organize a popular revolt. And after all, according to the great archi-socialist prophets, Yesaya and so on, this is the so-called Messianic era, a new political era.
Nice, okay, I like it. And by the way, Vlad, you may find it interesting that in the Talmud, the sage Rabbi Yitzchak says that Mashiach will only arrive when every government becomes heretical, which is to say that the new political era will dawn when every government opposes the Torah.
What? There it is. The government is heretical. It opposes the will of the people. Perhaps some of the people don't even see the heresies. The government has pulled the wolf over their eyes, manufacturing consent. Yes, opposition to such a government is the only realistic option for expose of the heresies, for manifestation of the truth.
I hear you. And it may well be that Rabbi Yitzchak would have agreed with you. But here's an interesting complication. Another Talmudic sage, Rava, derives the inner logic of this phenomenon, that Mashiach will arrive when world governments will have become heretical, from the peculiar case of the Metzora, the one afflicted by God with a terrible skin condition. His whole body is covered with white patches, which render him ritually impure, until his entire epidermis has turned white, in which case he is pure.
Aha! You see, opiate of the masses. When the whole world has become heretical, God will save the day with his Messiah. Pure archi-optimistic opium.
Well, not so fast there, Tovarich. There's another way to understand Rava. His meaning may be that world governments have been heretical all along, and that this age-old heresy simply becomes obvious for the first time in light of the unprecedented degree of Torah consciousness, when the truth of the Torah becomes perfectly self-evident, when the teachers of Torah and the students of Torah have done their jobs so diligently, then any government that continues bullheadedly to resist the evidence is deemed heretical.
Because the truth has become so clear?
Because the truth of the Torah has become so clear.
Because the people see what is true.
They finally see every Torah-hating anti-Semitic government for what it is. Heretical.
And so the state simply withers away?
The heretical state withers away. That's nice. Is that yours?
Yeah, actually, it's Marx.
Groucho said that? That guy.
Yeah, no, Karl.
Ah, of course, Karl. I got mixed up. Never mind. You know, there's a giant red flag behind you, right?
But then what is to be done with the great Messianic revolution?
Well, you see, if Rava is right, then there's really no need for such a revolution. Or at least the real revolution is one that takes place in the classroom where Torah is taught and learned. You know what Isaiah said, right?
Yes, I am the activist for socio-pedagogical political reform.
Isaiah envisioned a revolution in Torah education of such global scope that the whole earth will be filled with the knowledge of God like waters cover the sea.
An international revolution.
An international pedagogic revolution in which the godliness of all things becomes evident.
Учиться, учиться, учиться.
That flag, it's really...
Study, study, study. And all that opposes the Torah will simply wither away.
I really like that phrase. Heresy withers away.
If only all the Jews of the world would unite in a movement to study Torah, after all, they would have nothing to lose.
They'd have one thing to lose.
What?
Their chains.
Воспрянет род людской.